Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you doing out there? We are today live from Oman FM 90.4, and we have our first show to the Unsaid. I'm so excited to be here. Basma Al-Said, and I have with me.
Hello everyone, I'm Sahar Salmanian and I'm so excited for our show, The Unsaid.
I'm Sara Al Maawali and this is great. I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah. Are you guys feeling tense?
A bit.
Okay. So this show is going to be about all of these things. So we are a bunch of cool psychologists, so don't worry, we're not going to analyze anyone. We're talking about mental health in a different way, more understandable, more easygoing. We're going to use lots of different ways to talk about it. We're very excited, and we're going to tell you exactly why we called it The Unsaid, and we're going to tell you why we thought about it. But you know what? We're going to tell you after this song.
This is Oman FM. This is Oman FM.
And we're back on the first episode of The Unsaid. We hope that you're all having a lovely evening. If you're at home or if you're in your car, if you're just hanging out with your friends. I'm hanging out with my friends as well, so don't be jealous. But you know what? That song is so positive. I mean, it's such a good energy.
Yeah, positive energy.
And it's catchy
It
too.
is, isn't it? Can you do the
The clap?
It's like mess. We need to, guys,
Practice
if you
more.
can do it, please call us and we need help here. So do you guys feel you're on top of the world, or you're a bit
I think
shaky?
I was a bit tensed earlier, but now I feel like after listening to that song, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Isn't it interesting how music has a psychological effect on our life?
It does.
Always.
It can either make us tense or relaxed, or it can either make us motivated,
Right.
or just the movement. So, and that's what psychology is all about. It can come through music therapy, it can come through art. Through drama, and we're going to talk about all of this today. And throughout our episodes, it's going to be an amazing ride of mental health, talking about issues that might happen in our society, and moving away from the word I can't say it or I can't help myself. Now, let's tell you why we called it The Unsaid. The idea was, okay guys, what are we going to call this show? And we thought about it, and of course we took forever until we
We
decided.
did.
Do you guys remember we thought maybe we should call it The Unwritten?
The
Unwritten, things unsaid,
Yes.
and then the last one was the unsaid.
Yeah, and the reason why we actually said that we'll call it The Unsaid, because it's about what you say, not about what you write. And that's why we want to encourage people to talk about what they're going through.
Right.
So in this show, as I said, that we're going to talk about mental health and all that things. Sahar, why do you think it's important for us to talk about it in different ways? I mean, I know why it's important, but I'd like you to tell our listeners today, why is it so important to take another, angle and talk about this?
As you mentioned, when we're thinking about the topic, the unsaid, we were discussing that there are things in life we want to talk about them and we don't. There are things we don't say them, or we don't know how to say it to our friends, to our partner, to our parents. That's why we want to talk about different issues in life, that we all deal with it, but in a different way, to make it simple, to make it understandable for everyone, because we all go through different things. Even us as a therapist, we go through depression, anxiety, and that's why we want to talk about all these similar issues in a creative way. As you mentioned, music, art, because we're living with art, music, cooking, nature, all of these things every day, and then we can use them to have an easier life, a better life.
Yeah, but do you actually go through issues, Sara? I mean, you're a therapist.
Yeah, I get that a lot,
Dun,
by
da,
the
da,
way.
da.
I get that a lot. Like,
What? I'm not coming to see you. This is what people say and
Yeah,
think.
they're like,
Yeah.
you're a therapist, like how are you going through all these things? Like I'm like, yeah, but I'm human too. Like I have things going on in my life. I go through sadness, I go through anger, and sometimes I do burst out. So yeah, I guess we all
Make
experience
mistakes.
and then also as therapists we also have breaking points.
Yes.
Right.
The only thing is that we know how to balance, and we have supervision, and we know now, okay, I need to do something, or I need to help myself, and that's the only difference. I mean, a lot of people, even when we talk about mental health, they get scared and say, "Oh my God, there's nothing wrong with me." Even when we joke and we tell them, "Guys, come and visit us," what's the first answer that they'll say?
I don't need
I don't
therapy.
need
I
that.
don't need therapy. I'm like, the place is actually nice. No. Oh, what you gonna fix in me?
Yeah.
So it's not about that. It's sometimes, I always say, it's like maintenance, like with our bodies, right? I mean, we need to check in. We need to do a checkup with medical. So why not in mental health? I'll tell you something to make it a bit more easier. Every time I come to Oman Radio FM, for some crazy reason, the tires of my car go crazy and don't work. So I don't know what's happening. I
So
really want to
mysterious.
know, because this is mysterious. I don't want to go through other, domains, which we will talk about, because a lot of people always think thing goes in other domains. But for example, so now my car needs to be looked after. And it depends how much attached you are
Yeah.
to this car. So now we are in November. Oh, how I love November.
Yeah, me too. I love the city in November.
It is
It's colorful,
really nice, right?
it's beautiful.
It is.
I would spend more time out.
And also
Exactly
the
it.
weather plays a huge part in that too.
Exactly.
It's just such a
The
good
best
time
weather.
to be outside right now.
But
Yeah.
something I didn't like this November, to tell you the truth.
What?
And it's made me upset.
What?
So I don't know if you guys have noticed, there isn't that much light.
Ah.
There is, but it's not that many, right? And for me, it's a psychological attachment
Yeah.
to November lights. And even if I'm like, oh, every year the lights, and I complain, this year I'm complaining, I want that. Aren't we weird as humans?
Yeah.
We're never
We're
happy,
complex.
yeah?
Yeah.
But I was like, where's the light? So kudos to you guys who are in Salalah. Wow. Way to go, Salalah. We're not doing any, evil eye, all of that, but mashallah.
We have to travel.
You deserve it. You deserve it, and all the best. And what a lovely touch to actually even acknowledge, people's Salah. But I want some lights, please. Do you guys feel it? Have you noticed?
I'm waiting. Maybe they're doing it next days.
I like the hope.
Yeah.
It's nice to be hopeful.
Hope, right?
Hopeful is really good, especially on this show.
Yeah.
We need to be hopeful.
I saw that the trees are lit up though. Like I was driving yesterday, and it was night. It was just a nice vibe, and I saw all the lights, and it was nice. But it wasn't the amount of lights what we usually get.
Yes.
But I was like, okay, this is nice. I like this. It's new.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's true. But you know what? For me, it was more like a childhood memory.
Yeah.
And this is something we always talk about in our sessions, right? To our clients. We always say that childhood memories are very important to build our future selves and our families and all of that. For me, it was when I was younger, we used to actually go out and watch these lights. It was actually a thing where we'd all get in the car with the family, or then it was with my cousins, then it was with my friends, and then there was the fireworks, which if people from my era remember, the roads were so hectic and packed. It was a big, huge event, and I miss that.
Yeah.
And all of this ties up to one lovely word that we are going to talk about today, and that word is belonging. Belonging is a very strong thing in mental health.
Right.
And also, people don't understand how much it affects when you don't belong to a group. We're going to talk about that a bit more. But you know what? We would like for you guys to tell us, what do you think about belonging? So we have a number here. Get your pens ready. I hope your pens are all with you. So it's 24949493. I'll say that again. It's 24949493. Now, I know when you're driving, you're like, how am I going to memorize that number? Please stop the car on the side, because we're special for you to call us. And you're also special to look after yourself. On 90.4 FM, we are going to be waiting for your calls. Let's listen to something before we go into calls. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to listen to One Tribe, Black Eyed Peas.
FM.
One love, one blood, one tribe. You're back on the Unsaid show, and we're going to be waiting for those calls. I'm going to give you... Oh, we have a call. Yay!
Nice.
Let's go. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
First, I would like to congratulate you on this lovely, lovely episode. I mean, it's your first episode, but it is just amazing to have such diversity, you know, in Oman FM.
Thank you so much. Can I have your name? We're so happy. You're our first call. Please.
Thank
What's
you.
your name?
Yeah, my name is Fatma.
Okay, thank you, Fatma, for this call. We will never forget this.
Yeah.
Does that sound scary?
I mean, I just was listening to you, and, you know, the whole idea of having the unsaid out and said to, you know, bring awareness and all that. It's just an amazing thing, and I would like to thank you for the idea.
Thank you.
And I really wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. We wanted to ask you if it's okay with you. First of all, are you okay with not having lights? Okay, we'll skip the lights business. Anyway, could you tell us what's belonging, the word belonging, what does it mean to you?
Well, belonging to me, it is, I've always wanted to belong to a certain thing. Like, for me, I think having my family around me, my children, my family, my sisters, my brothers, and all that, and the feeling of calmness, you know, when you are around them, it's like a warm blanket. That to me is belonging. Also belonging to a society, and I'm proud to be an Omani. And as you said, this is November, so to us it brings a lot of, you know, that feeling of belonging becomes even more intensified, and a feeling that you are belonging to something bigger than yourself.
Very much.
You know,
Yes.
it's being not just just Fatma, the person. It's being in a society. It's being a productive person. It's being a good person. It's being a kind person to bring something into this world. And
love
that's
it.
what I feel I'm trying to give to my kids, and to instill in them the sense of being a part of something bigger than you.
Nice. I like the warm blanket.
Yeah, I was thinking
to me,
about it.
It is. It's always, you know, when I am around my family, when I'm around my children, it feels like that. You know, when you have that blanket that you really love, and when you cuddle in
Cuddly
it,
one.
Comfortable.
Yes.
that's what it feels like. I mean, it's not something tangible. I mean, you cannot something like you touch it, but you can feel it.
Love that.
And to me, belonging is that. It's a sense that is so deep and important to me that, as I said, I'm so proud to have the family I have. Like some people belong to a certain family and they are proud of it, or you belong to a certain country, to a certain, and that, to me, that is what you belong to, something other than just you.
I love it. There's so much emotions in what she's
Right.
saying, and being a mother, and
Yeah.
you aced it, Fatma. You're the best first caller ever.
Thank you so
Literally.
much for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you. You made
Thank
us
you
feel
very
calm.
much.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a
luck.
lovely
Good luck.
evening. Thank you.
Godspeed.
Okay, how interesting was that?
That was really nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I felt the calmness in her
Right.
voice too.
and it there's about family and love and children. I don't know if we have do we have another caller? First of all, I want to shout out to the amazing people behind the glass.
Yeah.
Please, we have Abdullah Al Maawali, Abdullah Kalmani, Hadir Al Maskari. Thank you so
Great,
much.
great job.
Great
for all
job.
that you're doing.
So basically, let's talk about that point. We always say in mental health that family is the first school.
Yeah.
And with family, you learn all about these things. If your experience starts out well, and then the child goes into the world, right? So let's swim about and have some calmness about that word, family, and how important it is for them to teach belonging.
Right. As you mentioned, family is the first group we practice being with others. Our parents are the first people that we meet, and the way they treat us, the way we treat with them, is the first, we can say, the pilot for us to know how we can rely on each other, how we can trust each other, how we can share our needs and wants, and then how we can give it back, you know, and then how we can help them in another way. I feel like belonging is the feeling of being wanted and wanting something, being loved and loving someone, how to love your family, and you know that at the same time they love you. So as you mentioned, I feel like family is the first place we need to practice it, and then later on in schools, in society, in bigger scales, we can spread that feeling.
Very true.
Yeah, and I think belonging does begin at a very young age. That's when we start, because we use our senses at a very small age. So we start, you know, connecting with the people around us, with our parents, understanding the world from a whole different view. And as children, we're like sponges as well, right? Children are like sponges. So I think also that sense of belonging, we observe it, and then we apply it in our life. And as we grow up,
and then you remember it, all the memories that you have at early ages.
like the lights.
As Fatima mentioned, like for the country, you remember, and you mentioned all the memories of going out, watching the lights, and it's stick in your mind when you are older, and it creates a kind of meaning for you.
And you know, it can go in a very bad way if it's not there. I mean, you know how we all want to belong to that group. You know, as we just heard in the song, one tribe. It's a tribe.
One people.
So the first tribe or the first group is the family. So maybe you have that sibling that feels he doesn't belong or she doesn't belong. And then we find out after years that she always felt she never belonged.
Ignored.
And nobody understood why. These are the things that are unsaid and ununderstood, right? So then this person grows up, goes to school, continues this feeling of I don't belong, and shies away and feels shy and low self-esteem. Lots of things come out of not feeling belonged. And then in school, then other things happen, like bullying, for example, and you know, the anti-bullying week is coming up, but that's because the person doesn't feel that they belong to this group, and he grows up. And this happens in university. Also, some universities have sorority groups, some you know, there's so many different
clubs,
things in different clubs, so they need to belong. It's a need, a human need that we need. You know, everybody needs it. So I hope that we do feel that, because it's very important.
It takes practices.
And I just want to say that it actually also happens at work. So even at work, if you don't feel you belong to the group, you start losing focus on what's happening. You start feeling alone, isolated.
You don't feel connected to your colleagues.
Because belonging is a crucial
element
that we need as we, you know, we continue in our life. It brings that sense of satisfaction.
And worthy. You feel worthy because someone is taking care of you, someone is thinking about you. When you're not at work, your colleague is thinking about you, asking about you. Then tomorrow when you're going to work, you have a purpose.
You feel excited. I belong to something.
Looking forward to
It's very uncomfortable when you're somewhere where you feel you don't belong. Nobody cares if you come to work or not. Nobody cares if you come to school or not, for example. And then these things also, that's why in schools they do these clubs, right? And they encourage kids, you know, this feeling. That's why we have national anthems. You know, national anthems are such a sense of belonging. When you hear it, you feel, I belong to this, you know.
And you know the song, you know everything. It's a different feeling, like especially in school.
All the rituals.
We have a call. Let's check it out. Yeah. Hello?
Hi.
So poor Tamsin couldn't come with us today because she has that horrible flu that's everywhere. Guys, look after yourself. There's this evil flu happening.
But I miss you all so much. So I'm actually out for a drive and I'm listening to you guys on air.
Okay,
And I was like, I
awesome.
had to call, so I'm safely parked on the side of the road.
Okay, Tam, you're
Great.
supposed to be resting. How are you resting in the car?
Drive.
No.
She's out because
This is
of
how
the
she
lights.
comes because she has lights.
I really
Where do you live?
listen to you all, so I'm sitting in the car.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you. So you
Right.
can tell us, what do you think? Of course, you see a lot of children,
Kids, yeah.
and kids. So could you tell us a bit about that part and the sense of belonging?
Right. So I see a lot of kids from different cultures, and personally, I always relate to that because I am someone who was born in a country and in one country, grew up in another country, have a passport from a different country, and so when I see a lot of kids who come up to sessions struggling with their identity issues, one thing we always talk about is how their sense of belonging depends on what they believe it is to be. For example, you can find home wherever you want it to be in different areas of your life. So for me, for example, home is where my family is when I go there, but then home is also my own apartment and my own space as well. So there's different versions of it. And that's something that I teach a lot of my kid clients, is that you don't have to have one thing that fits all. You can have your own version of it.
That's very, very true. And I think it's called a third culture.
Right.
Which we have to do a whole show about that, by the way. But
Yes.
it's home away from home. So you create a home.
Right.
Right. And I think that's something we need to talk about after Tam finishes this call, because it's very, very
important.
crucial and important. So yeah, Tam, so I hope that you're enjoying the show that you're part of.
Yeah, you're missed.
I'm loving it.
And we have missed
It's
you.
nice to be on the other end calling in,
Yes.
but I just
And
wanna
we're not
say
tense at all. I just want to tell you.
I will be there next week on the show, but you guys are all doing a really good job, and I just wanted to drop in and say hi.
Thank you, Tam.
Thank you.
Get
Thank
well
well
soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank you so
bye.
much. So guess what we're going to listen to now? Something that we kept on debating. Shall we put this word or this song? Do you the
Unwritten.
Let's listen to that.
This is Oman FM. FM.
So we're back on 90.4 FM. Keep that dial, don't change it, on the Unsaid show. I hope you guys can call in. I'm sorry about the, technology is a bit sad sometimes, but please try. We're waiting. The number again is 24949493. I'll say that again. 24949493. You know why I say it again? Because I'm one of those people who like to call in, and I'm always like, what was the number?
Yeah.
What was the number? And
sometimes you forget
I
that
can't
one
remember.
number.
That one number, and then you call in.
You miss it.
Exactly. So please call in. We're waiting to hear from you guys. We learn from you guys. We always say, especially in this career, we learn from everything you guys say. Because in the end, we talk about human mind. So you guys are going to teach us. But anyhow... The idea of... Wait a minute. I want to say something about that song.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
Can I tell you what I remember every time I hear that song?
What?
The shampoo advertisement.
Which one?
I can't say the word. But so every time I hear it, I imagine myself running in the field.
I'm lucky. I don't remember that.
Oh my God, this song was so energetic, it was so happy and running in the field. So if you guys felt the same, please tell us. Songs have amazing memories in our mind, and anything we hear, triggers stuff in our body. A few days ago, I heard one of the national songs. Somebody asked me, what's your best, national song? And I like the army one that they always have. They bring it, and because it feels so powerful.
Yeah.
And I used to say, I like that song. I like the Sultan al-Nahda. There's some songs that really make me feel so happy and energetic. And
empowered.
Yeah, and when I was in university, abroad, on National Day, to feel the sense that I belong to Oman, I used to basically wear the red, green, and I mean, not all together, one of them.
Yeah.
In Arabic, they say, what's happening? Are you like, all the colors of the, So anyhow, I used to wear those. I used to listen all day about, things about home. I used to feel so much like I want to be home.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that because when I was abroad as well, the Omani community would always gather and we would have qahwa, we would have some Omani food and give it to the people in America
to share your
and
culture.
to share our cultures with them, and also we'd wear the badge, wear the Omani flag, and so proud. And we used to enjoy gathering because when you're abroad and you're away from home, you feel a little bit homesick sometimes. So when you're with your community,
you feel much different.
You feel more belong.
Right.
And that's what I want to ask Sahar. So Sahar, you're here. You are from lovely Iran.
Yeah.
Please tell us, how do you feel? You've been here for a while
4
now,
years,
but I think the COVID ate up that excitement a bit.
It's really interesting. My experience of living abroad had a lot of ups and downs, as we all have had it. But for people who start living in a different country, not for a while for studying, they pack and they start their whole life in a different country, they have different kind of feelings. And one of the most important feelings they struggle to find is belonging. When we're talking about November, I remember the first year I came to Maskat, I had no idea about November. And I was like, why is it so important? Why they're decorating the city? But now after 4 years, I am celebrating it. Yes. I am not Omani, but I can say I'm so proud to call Oman home because after 4 years, I can feel home in this place. And there are so many elements help you to feel home in a different country. As Sara mentioned, first of all, to remember your own culture and to share it with others, and at the same time to study about the culture you're living in. To study, for example, I started asking my colleagues, my friends, what is this, what is that, this food, that qahwa, learning the language, because I believe language is the gate for the culture. Yes. When you know about the language, you get to know about other things behind it. And I feel like now I'm in a better place and I feel home in a different country. But for some people, it's different.
It's still difficult.
It takes longer and it's fine. I feel like we shouldn't be in rush to feel.
Exactly. And maybe they didn't find the right group. They didn't find the group that made them feel home.
Absolutely.
Like there's something else. So I studied in Jordan, I studied in Australia, London, UK, but you know what? I remember in Australia Day. So as much as I have that sense of belonging with Oman, now I'm in Oman, I have that, then I know that, on this date is Australia Day. So then I feel, memories of being, so it's weird, you have two feelings of the country also that you've studied in and you lived, a good portion of your life. you have that attachment. That means that you also felt it's also kind of a belonging, but a different type of a, I don't know, would it be sub or?
That's
How do
why
we
we
call
call
it?
it a global village. We are living in a
Exactly.
global village because we are connected, especially after COVID. Everything is online, so we are connected to every places, every communities, groups,
That is
clubs.
so true.
And plus, we leave our mark everywhere we go.
That's
So,
exactly it. Yeah.
something about Americas, it always felt like home to me too. And when I came back, I felt like that culture shock a little bit and homesick. Also, when I came back to my own home,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that was so confusing for me. I was like, I went there and I felt homesick. I come back home and I'm feeling homesick. So it's like the readjustment, and also again finding your people wherever you go.
And that takes time.
And that takes time.
That takes a lot of time, actually, for some people. Some people never adjust
Yeah.
because they don't want to. I think it's this, they haven't given themselves maybe that chance.
They resist
And every
them.
time you talk to them, they're like, oh, but you know, when I was, and there's these comedies where they show you as if the person's been there for years and years. So every time you talk to them, like, oh, but when I was studying in this, oh, but I'm like, halas. Anyway, moving on. So it depends. That means they're not comfortable yet. You know, they're not settled yet. And sometimes parents maybe would want to push that because they're worried. So the person will come back, you know, from Chab, and they're like, oh my God, he's too influenced with where he was. But just give him some time. Don't
To
push
readjust,
it.
yeah.
And he will adjust.
And for some people, they feel like if they start accepting a new culture, a new country, they feel like they're forgetting their own roots.
Yes.
So like, for example, they would say, why should I celebrate? I'm not Omani. But you can have both. You can celebrate Omani National Day, and then you can celebrate your own New Year, your own National Day at the same time. And I feel like then your world is bigger
That's true.
because you
Let's
belong
expand.
to different places, to different cultures.
That's very true.
Yeah, there's something that stuck out to me though while we were talking
Yeah.
about belonging. I remember again when I came back, I felt a bit homesick, and someone once told me, sometimes you have to create a home within yourself first before feeling like, you know, like, because sometimes we feel like there's no one out there for you,
Right.
and your tribe is not there yet. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to create it within, find a home within.
Home is not necessarily a place, it's a feeling. You can carry it with yourself
That's
wherever
true.
you
So
go.
I just had to share that.
Thank you.
Nice.
Also, the food, right? Let's talk a bit about food. When you cook your food when you're away, that's also
Yeah.
part of
course.
belong. This is my
course.
country's
The smells.
food. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody feels the taste, but so it's feeling, it's emotions, it's visuals, it's
colours.
music. All of these things create, you know, this person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there's sometimes a flip side to it. I'm just wondering first if we, I'm going to say the number again, the phone number, just in case anyone would like to share with us their thoughts. So again, I'm going to say it's 24949493.
Share your thoughts, your opinions.
thoughts.
We're
Yeah, we
happy.
would love to
So
hear
it's
from you.
24949493. Have I been saying it wrong, guys? You know, one of the words in that song was, no one else can speak the words on your lips. And I think sometimes with the younger generation, sometimes they don't really sometimes say how they're really feeling. And sometimes they were to say what they're feeling in a group. Or sometimes they feel they have to be
In a
in this
certain
group. So let's talk about the flip side of obsessing to be in a group, because that also is another side of darker side of belonging.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know, I want to tell you guys that they're talking to me in the headset here,
Distracting.
and he's just saying something. Oh, do you guys want a break? Let's go in for a
Okay.
quick break.
Yeah, let's
yeah,
go.
I think let's do that. Oh, for sure we want to go. So guess what we have? We have Spice Girls.
Ooh, let's go.
Let's go through that
I love
spice.
that.
Yeah, okay.
FM.
So, the Spice Girls.
Oh, I love the
So many
Spice Girls.
memories. So many.
Nostalgic.
I wanted to be, for a while, I wanted to be sporty Spice, and then a lot of people like, no, you're scary Spice. I don't know if that was supposed to be how she looked, so I'm just going to take it as a positive.
Yeah, take it.
It's how you see it.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you have to have a big angle. But look, they were a group, and they were friends. They belonged to a certain culture, certain group. They broke up, but they came back together.
That's what's important. They came back together.
They came back together. Not the same like before, but they did. But the sense of pressure, you know, they probably had to belong, to be together. And if one wasn't, then she has to be. And one of the words in the song, of course, the song is more about if you want to be with me, you have to do this, you have to do that kind of thing. At the time, we took it as, this is so cool, the music is cool. As we grow up, we find out it's not just music, guys, it's words too. We have a caller.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. Who's with me?
My name is Mazen Novi.
Hi, Mazen.
Hi,
How are
Mazen.
you?
I'm doing very fine, very well. Actually, I'm at the beach tonight. It's a very lovely weather, so I thought.
Oh,
nice.
Do you want to tell us what beach, or is it like, you know, you don't want people to know where you are? Okay, we're going to skip that. So,
But you can see the full moon, right?
Oh, it's a full moon today.
It's
so
beautiful.
anyone looking for Mazen, he's at the beach.
Out there somewhere.
Out there somewhere.
Gotta
So,
believe.
tell us, what do you think about what we're talking about? Did you
Yeah.
hear about a bits of it? We're talking about belonging.
To be honest, I've been listening so far, and it reminded me of the days I was studying abroad in the Netherlands, because I was in a shared house, in a sense, and you can say it was a situation of the perfect storm. We had different people from very different backgrounds, very different cultures, but we managed to create this like sort of safe space of like talking about our different experiences growing up, our like views of the world, and like there was no kind of like, it was sensitivity free in a sense.
That's
like,
nice.
People didn't feel like
Judged.
there was no reason to hold back when it comes to sharing, and that paved the way into like so many interesting conversations we had through those years over there.
Nice.
I like
And,
the safe space bit that you
yeah.
talked about.
Yeah,
Yes.
like just looking at how should I say, despite our different cultures and different backgrounds, the similarities we had growing up, like those some key experiences that transcend culture in a sense. You can say
I like
with
that.
parenting, with like making friends, etc. And like people's relationship with their beliefs, with their religion, with how they grew up with it, how they view it nowadays, and like their relationship to and what they believe in. That was always interesting to talk about, like why, like in a sense, exploring the thought processes of different people from different backgrounds.
I like that. And there's a point that we always, I don't know, tell me if you agree with us or not. You know, when we travel, I know it's nice to belong to, you know, where we come from, all that, but it's good to learn from others. Some people go to a country and they stick with the same group and they come back, they haven't learned anything. University is an educational place to learn, but life is more learning from others. And I always tell anyone who goes to study, enjoy. I know university is your study place, but actually life is to learn from others, from their cultures, from their backgrounds, religions, all of that. And you've said all of that now. That's amazing. That's really good.
And the best part about studying abroad is also living with people from different countries. I think
Exactly.
you learn a lot from the people you surround yourself with.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Eating
Because
together is like,
it's nice to have your community and your people, but you'll come back to that.
Exactly.
And
That's true.
and they're there. And I
Yeah.
think
And I think that's the biggest education ever. Because when you come back, I don't know, do you still contact your friends?
They are lifelong friends at this point, to be honest.
oh, nice.
Just waiting for the wedding to happen so I can send the ticket invite.
Oh,
congratulations.
Oh, Mabruk, girls, we're invited.
No, not yet.
Not you?
First-
No? Any shwaya,
First
just
we
say
get the car to
maybe
the house and then we start
we
looking.
really want to go to a wedding.
Think about it.
Look, all the control systems are like, yeah, wedding time. Thank you
Let's
so
wait for
much,
the Bukhari
Mazen.
wedding season and follow
So that's why we're not saying what beach you're at, I'm guessing. Thank you so
comment,
much.
no comment.
Thank you so much.
Mazen.
Thank you, Mazen. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
You too.
So we're on 90.4, the Unsaid Show. Please call us at any time at 24949493. I'll say that again. 24949493. How catchy is this number?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a few minutes left. I want to try something. An experiment. I'm going to show you. So you guys can't see this, but I'm going to show these guys here a tree. And I want you to imagine this tree. In psychology, if you're driving, you won't see it. So there is live streaming. Please follow us on the live streaming. But anyhow, there's something called the tree of life that we use as psychologists and therapists. And the reason why we use it is to talk about the roots. So as much as a tree might look lonely, you know, around it, but actually if you see it from another angle, it's got very strong roots. The stem is life. These are parts of our life, the branches, and the sky and everything surrounded is things that happen in our life. So if I was to take, okay, Sara, these are your roots. Okay.
Yes.
So what would you put in the stem?
Maybe me. I'll put myself in the stem.
Sahar, what would you put in your branches?
Branches. Friends.
Friends, family, life, and then you know how it branches out in the leaves. So this is a really good exercise, guys, and this is part also of therapy, art. So today when you go and see an art piece, you know, sometimes I see an art piece and people go, oh, this art piece is so expensive, and I feel this, and I'm like, I don't understand. But then I see it from another angle and I see a totally different story. So art is something very important for us to use in our life and to relate to. And that's why we're taught art from a very, very young age, right?
To express ourselves. It's a form of expression.
Exactly. So next time we're going to use more stuff, and you should get the people to send us a message, maybe through the Instagram account of Oman FM.
Yeah.
And tell us what you think and your questions and everything.
And also, sorry, but I just remembered this post that I saw recently. And it was about belonging. And I was like, this is nice, and I just remembered it right now. It says, community is much more than belonging to something. It is about doing something together that makes belonging matter. Nice. And that hit deep for me.
It's togetherness, right?
It's together. It's
more practical. Yeah. It's not only a feeling. You put effort to feel belong.
That's nice. That's nice. Some things are really catchy and you read it, and it depends also how you're feeling when you read it.
Yeah.
You could read it tomorrow and feel a totally different feeling, but it's how you're feeling right now. Sahar, we watched a movie recently.
Together.
And we use drama therapy a lot. And we watched it for reasons of drama therapy. How do you feel that movie affected you?
Yeah, the movie was amazing. We watched it together, The Woman King.
Yeah.
And I remember I couldn't blink the whole time watching the movie. And the most important point of the movie that I remember is that the king, the woman, she went through a lot in her life. But the way she turned her pain into power was really important. It was really beautiful. The way she turned her suffering into meaning, and then she gathered people around herself, and then they all together had a shared goal, had a shared meaning to fight for.
Exactly. And that's the belonging.
Yeah, that's
exactly
the belonging.
what Sara just said.
Yeah.
Togetherness and belonging and everything. We have got 5 minutes left on this first show.
Yeah, this is going by so fast.
How did it go fast?
I had more to share.
I guess it's always like that.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing this show quite a bit. Please follow us and follow the page to know what time and everything. We're always going to have a theme, and we're always going to have we're going to go deeper, by the way. Today we've taken it a bit easy.
Yeah.
But we're going to go deeper in unsaid things. And we'd always love for you guys to be with us on this show, because that's what makes the show more meaningful. Last words. Let's go for it. Sara.
The last thing I have to share with you guys is that please do share how you feel. Don't leave things unsaid.
Yeah.
Express yourself in whatever way and form that suits you.
Okay.
Nice. I would say at the same time that you validate your own feelings, take care of each other. If you feel someone is around you who doesn't feel belonged, help them. Be there for them. to create that belonging, sense of belonging
that.
for them.
And nobody will know what you're going through if you don't talk about it. And it accumulates and it does so much suffering later on. And always remember that
Change
always
begins
with you.
Yes. So we have Imagine Dragon, and let's try that.
No, we still don't get it.
Oh God, we're gonna try it again. Okay,
still don't
goodbye,
get it.
guys, and see you next time. Thank you so
See
much
you.
for listening on 90.4 The Unsaid Show.
Bye.